Okay, I need your attention. The tech regulations are changing. There's a risk some of our hard work will be undone, so we need to mitigate it. As soon as you can, I want you to look at the developments we have and tell us what areas you want to invest in protecting.
Now we have a regulation change for Season 7. However, it only affects the durability, which is quite surprising actually, only one department being affected. And it shouldn't be an issue to cover this because we've got 6 weeks to cover it, and also we've got so many R&D points, we can do this straight away. So yeah, we're back for some more My Team, and we're going to have to take care of this in a moment. First of all though, if you haven't seen the previous episode, go check it out before we jump into spoilers. Link up in the top right for the Japanese Grand Prix. But yeah, first of all, before the Brazilian Grand Prix, we're going to go ahead and take care of activities. We're going to fill up our schedule and make sure we maximize everything we can. You can see in the top right, we've got over 30,000 resource points, which is absolutely bonkers. So the regulation change isn't going to do much in terms of ruining our progress. This weekend, we're going to have to use some older components because we still have this race and 2 more to go. And I want to stretch the energy store and the control electronics. So we're going to use the older one for those 2 this race. And then for the final 2 races, Jeddah and Abu Dhabi, which are a bit more, power sensitive, we're going to go to the freshest components we have available to us possible. So yeah, with that said, we went ahead and then started protecting all of our upgrades. You can see the resource points in the top right just go down. But again, no issue here. We're going to go through each individual part: the MGUK, the MGUH, the energy store, the control electronics, the turbo, and yeah, basically get it all sorted out, and the gearbox as well. And yeah, already we've protected ourselves from the regulation change. So with that done, we can now jump into the weekend's action, and we're going to see what is ahead of us. Now the forecast is dry for the weekend, so no dramas expected in terms of rain. We jump into Q1 though. We're going to see if we can get off to a good start. Again, it's very important to note that the gap between ourselves and Max Verstappen is basically a race win. So we need to win the last 3 races ideally, and hope that, even if Max gets second, we would have to get the fastest lap in all of them to have a chance. And, really we need Max to have one race where he's not in the top 2 if possible. So yeah, our first lap in Q1 is a 1 minute 4.2, not particularly, spectacular. We then went for a second push lap after a cool down lap. It was going pretty well, but I messed up the final kind of bit of the lap, and I started to overheat the front right, and I lost a bit of time. I was up by 0.2 at one point. In the end, we improved by just over a 10th and move into the top 7. That improvement, though, is just enough, as a 10th is quite a lot around here, and that was enough to not have to go out again and be safe. Michael just gets by in P16 into Q2, so he just makes it. Speaking of which, in Q2, I tried the mediums for my first run just to see, the kind of pace we had, and I wanted to see if it was possible because you guys know recently about the tire overheating struggles I've been having, so I wanted to try and, make a medium work. First lap, 1 minute 4.4, which isn't too bad. Second lap, I was actually up as much as by a 10th at one point, I believe, on the lap. And you can see here, through the second sector, though, we have a bit of a moment as we spin through the downhill right-hander, and that's going to put an end to our attempt. So I had to go back to the pits, put the soft tyres on, and get through on these. So here we go then. Let's go for a full lap of Interlagos, 2.5 minutes to go. We're going to have no traffic, and we're going to have clear track to try and get this lap in, and we've got enough time that if we mess up, we can go again. So down to turn 1, brake just after the 50, down to 4th gear with these cars, which are really, really fast. Short shift and carry the speed through turn 2 and turn 3, and we're already a 10th and a half up. DRS open as we go down towards turn 4. Spot the 50 as you're braking and hit the anchors nice and hard, apex, and then drive off nice and clean on the exit as we're purple in sector 1. Now into sector number 2.
2 minutes remaining in the session. We need a good lap here or we're out of qualifying.
Through the double right-hander and then into the first right-hand hairpin, which feeds into this long downhill left. Keep the car nice and tight. Back on the power, use with the runoff curb, and then into the second right-hand hairpin. Important to get a late apex here to square off the exit and get a nice drive down the hill through the place where we spun before. Second sector done, purple in both. Final corner, inside curb, bit of a tap there for some rotation, and then nice clean drive out of there. And for good measure, we're going to keep the car nice and tight on the way up the hill to make sure we maximise the lap time, and it's going to be a 7/10 of a second improvement. 1 minute 3.7 and provisional P1 for now in P2. So happy days. Other cars yet to improve, including Max Verstappen, who does a 1 minute 3.4 at the end of Q2. I believe he tried to get through on mediums like myself, didn't have to pay, so he had to switch to the softs as well. And Michael also threw in P10. So both cars in Q3, both Red Bulls in Q3 as well. Max setting the benchmark there with a 0.4, which is pretty damn quick. Now, on our first Q3 lap, we actually did a good job. It was a pretty decent run. And for a banker, we set ourselves up quite nicely. There's a few mistakes here and there, but it was generally a pretty decent lap. Overall, I'd say the first sector was terrible, but sectors 2 and 3 were right on the money. But I know there's time in the first sector. We set a 1 minute 3.6 as a banker, which is pretty decent, as we're currently sitting in P3. On to the final runs though. Everyone else ahead of us is going to set their laps first, so we'll know exactly where we are by the time we cross the line. Starting the lap then, trying to maximise this little downhill section to speed up the top speed. Turn 1, braking about 30 metres to be fair. 4th gear, 5th, loads of curb on entry and exit, and look at that, we're already over a 10th up, keeping it super tight out of turn 3 as well to maximise lap time as we go down towards turn 4. Spot the 50, 5th gear, nose in, back on the gas, bit of oversteer, but we managed to find some more time, and we're a 10th and a half up heading into sector 2, and right now we are on for a high 0.4. Through the double rights, easy does it through there, back on the brakes for the right hand hairpin, and we keep it nice and tidy through here. Through the long left, steady on the power through here so that you can use the back end. And so far we have lost a little bit of time through the middle sector. I went in a little bit too early there into that hairpin and it compromised my exit. I just went a bit too soon on the apex. But then the final corner here, just clipping the inside curb, easy on the traction out of here, and then keeping it super tight on exit. And we're going to see what this lap is. We have a bit of an oversteer moment there, just taking a bit too much inside curb through the left hander and actually lose a little bit of time. As we run up to the line though, we set a 1 minute 3.5, which is a PB, a decent enough lap, but unfortunately keeps us in P3. I do wonder if that slight correction and a bit of oversteer on that uphill left right at the end by trying to keep it tight actually maybe cost me a little bit of time and maybe P2, but nonetheless, Verstappen on pole, 1 minute 3.444. Lando joins him in the 0.4 club, and we are sitting just outside with a 5.09. So yeah, overall, a decent qualifying. Michael down in P10, way off the pace. Perez in P5. So not too shabby. I do believe there was a bit of time in the lap, considering we threw it away. I do believe, my optimal lap before I made the mistakes probably would have been enough for pole. I think we lost a little bit of time through the middle sector where we dropped about half a tenth through the first of the right hairpins, and also, of course, out the final corner just before the actual finish line, that the little left kink, we just lost a little bit of time there. So definitely P2 was on the cards. Max would have been really close on a perfect lap, but that is it for qualifying. We're now going to move into what is a must-win Brazilian Grand Prix.
It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. Young superstar Max Verstappen starts from pole position, and Lando Norris lines up alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Martinez, Leclerc, Sergio Perez, and Sainz, Bottas, Russell, Michael Schumacher, and Daniel Ricciardo, Tsunoda, Latifi, Lance Stroll, and Ocon, Giovinazzi, Lundgaard, Nobuharu Matsushita and Pierre Gasly, Mick Schumacher, Eilert, Mazepin and Robert Schwartzman. That's it then, it's time to go racing as we head to trackside for today's race.
Well, we're here for the race then at Interlagos, and there's no other way to describe it. This is a must-win event. P3 on the grid, behind Lando and Max Verstappen. Of course, Max is the person we have to beat. Lando is the wild card in this equation. Now, for this one, strategy-wise, we're going to start, of course, on the softs that we used in Q2 to qualify on, and then we're going to switch to mediums. The hard tyre, in principle, is the tyre that you want to avoid around here, but because of the last race in Japan, I may consider it a more viable option than I normally would do, but still, in principle, the idea is to go for the medium. Tyre wear should be low. It's more that tyre overheating is going to be an issue. I've got our pressures on the front tyres at the lowest possible, so we'll try and limit, tyre temps on that front. Fuel-wise, I'm running the lowest, which in this case is 4.5 laps less. So we've done what we can. We're going to see if it pays off. Ideally, right now, I'd like to get a good start, and if we can at least clear Lando, that would be perfect. So, yeah, let's get into it. Let's get the Brazilian Grand Prix underway, and let's see if we can secure a crucial W. Okay, here we go then. It's a big race, big pressure. 5 laps are on. And we're underway. Good start. Happy with that. We're going to be on the inside here through turn 1. Lando crucially takes the lead. So we didn't get Max, but Lando got ahead of Max, and that could be a key factor. We'll see how that pans out, but we've held on to P3. Decent start from me, actually, considering, you know, I don't usually get good starts versus the maxed out AI. So that's a good start to the race. Now we're already going to turn our focus to tyre temps. Now, the AI, as you know, will be full power flat out for the first 2 laps until DRS gets enabled. Then they kind of settle into race pace and turn their engines down a little bit. So the key to success here is going to be staying within a second by lap 3, as behind the Ferraris are battling. So that's going to allow us to break away here. But yeah, let's see, man. Lando could be the wild card here, and the kind of, you know, the key factor to maybe not have Verstappen finish P2 in this race, maybe, which could be a key. The Ferraris are still going side by side. They're losing a chunk of time, so that's going to help us out massively. But yeah, onto lap 2. Decent start. Us 3 are breaking away already. Now we're going to see what kind of pace Max has. Ideally, I want to be close to him next lap, because if he does pass Norris, I want to be right there for when it does happen. Okay, tyre temp starting to get a little bit high on the right side.
DRS is being enabled this lap. We can use DRS when you are within 1 second of the car ahead and in the DRS zone.
Now, I don't think Max is close enough to Lando to pass him on this straight, so things will stay as they are for a little bit longer.
Okay, we're running low on fuel. You'll need to conserve what you have left in order to finish the race.
Don't worry about it, Jeff. We'll take care of that later. Pace is pretty decent. We take away the fastest lap. Still though, Lando doing a good job. He's keeping Max at bay. Verstappen can't quite get a look in so far. I'm trying to get a bit closer, but I'm finding it hard in terms of pushing without overheating the tyres. The good news is I think we're going to be okay on the medium, I think, based off these early signs I've seen on the soft tyre so far. That was a lovely second sector. That final corner as well, right on the money. This is much closer than we have been to Max, but I feel like Max might actually challenge Lando here as well. So we need to be close for when this happens. Another fastest lap. Pressure building. This is it. Max is going to go for the move on Lando here. This might be an opportunity to pass them both. We'll see how this goes. Lando squeezes Max quite aggressively. We have to be careful to not run to the back of Verstappen there. But there we go. This battle is underway now. Let's see if we can find something. I was tempted to go for the inside dive there, but we'll be patient. It's only lap 5. Long way to go yet in this race. I feel like we could get them both if we time it right. Nicely done through that. I'm being very, very cautious here. I'm focusing a lot to watch out for the tyres overheating too much. Close to Max here though. Look at the acceleration though. When the Red Bull goes into full power mode, it just drives off in the acceleration phase. We are running obviously an older engine, but still. Let's see. Into turn 1. Not quite able to get the move done there. Nice. Nice exit. Super close here. This is going to get interesting once again. This time Verstappen goes to the outside. We're going to cut underneath, but we've got a roadblock situation, which is far from ideal. Max is going to edge ahead of Lando. And, oh my god, Lando there for a second. I thought he was going to cut right in front of me. Had to take evasive action. So Verstappen into the lead. Trying to have a look at Lando here, but no way through. We'll be patient. I don't think Max will be getting away. Lando should hold on to his DRS. He's definitely a factor in this race. 100%. This is a decent little scrap brewing away here. But I do need to pass him. We can see the Mercedes doesn't quite have the straight line speed. Here we go then. Let's get this one done. It's going to be close. We're going to have to maybe get it done on the brakes. Around the outside, Lando's still there, holds his own. But we'll get the inside through turn 2. And there we go. Let's get on to Verstappen then. That was perfect. Exit not so great, but that was on the money. We managed to clip the inside curb, get the rotation. And now we're going to have a look at Verstappen then. Into the first corner maybe. Let's see, it's going to be close. No, I'm not comfortable with that move. We'll back off. Oh, we've lost the back end though. We'll have to wait then a bit longer. Wasn't comfortable with that dive bomb going in such a tight angle like that. Don't really trust the AI. Here we go again. Not close enough, I don't think, to go for the move into turn 1. But we'll try and set it up into turn 4. Norris has held on as well, which is good, so he's coming along for the ride.
Check your MFD for a new strategy option.
Not right now, Jeff. Let me take care of business first. Didn't quite get all the apex there at turn 2.
Confirmed.
Confirmation of the strategy change. Here we go then. Let's try and go for this move on Verstappen. To the outside we go into turn 4. That was very close. Max moving under braking. We almost lost our front wing, shades of Carlos Sainz a few races ago. Side by side though into the double rights. We're going to take the inside line though. We do bang tyres, but we're past and into the race lead. Right. So we've got P1. Norris is still here, which is good. He could definitely help us out. Now, do we have the pace to stay ahead? And can we pull away as well? Scheduled to pit around lap 16 in principle. We'll see how that works out. For now, let's see how this final corner goes before we cut away in case Max gains time on us. Nope, I think he's dropped off. 7/10 to be fair, pretty decent gap. I do wonder if Max maybe got damage. No, he didn't. Okay, he's staying out, so I think he's okay. Lando pretty close though. Anyway, let's crack on. Let's see if I've got any pace to try and push it without overheating the tyres too much. Struggling now to keep the front right under control. We're not pulling away. Max probably might have a look at us again on this lap. We'll have to be careful. Norris is pit, so he's going for the hard tyre, which is interesting. So a different strategy for Lando, a different approach. We're going to go long, and it seems like Max is doing the same thing. We're both going to go for the medium.
Michael is in the pits. Michael in the pits.
Let's see then. Verstappen's going to have a look here, but we've got enough of a gap, I think, to stay safe. But yeah, I'm not able to push. Right front's getting hot straight away, so we're just going to have to be patient here. Try and stretch the stint out a little bit. I might pit a little bit earlier based off tyre wear. It looks pretty decent, so we could maybe go as early as next lap probably and be safe for tyre wear on the medium. Now, based off this tyre wear, I'm going to box and go for medium. We're going to go a little bit earlier to avoid getting undercut. And also, if Max does stay out, it gives us a chance to maybe open up a gap and therefore break the DRS. So we're going to box. And Max joins us, I think, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, it's going to be a pit stop battle. Good thing we called it in that lap then, because that is a crucial decision. Max could get held here by incoming traffic. Looked okay to me though. We're going to box, here we go. Oh, it's a bit slow.
Go, go, go. You'll be racing on the exit. Go, go now.
Okay, crucially we've stayed ahead.
Okay, stay clear of the white line on the exit. We'll receive a penalty for dangerous driving if you cross over into the track.
Getting straight to work here on the pit exit. Trying to push as much as I can. I think we've actually gained a bit of time on. Yeah, Max is a bit slow on the pit exit. We've actually got a bit of a gap here. Oh no! No! I don't believe it. Not now. Oh my god. We went the whole season without a failure.
That looked bad. Are you all right? Let me know you're all right.
Not just victory today then, but the championship as well. What a spectacular season they've had. Congratulations to the whole team. Anthony Davidson, what helped them deliver this result, do you think?
Well, I honestly feel it was down to the driver and car today. I mean, we can talk driver skill all day, but if you don't have a solid team to back that, you're never going to get anywhere. When you hit that sweet spot of having both an excellent driver and an incredible car, That's when you see results like those we witnessed today.
The drivers are en route to the podium as we speak. What a fantastic win for the Red Bull team. They performed exceptionally today, keeping us firmly on the edge of our seats throughout the entirety of the race. Congratulations to everyone at the team.
And just like that, our season is over. Wow. I don't know why I had a funny feeling we hadn't had the failure yet, and I was worried that we might get one in the most crucial part. But damn, man, honestly, I'm gutted because we're solely responsible this season. We had so many opportunities to gain points on Max, and we threw it all away. And yeah, shame, because that race was going well, man. We'd done the hard work. We was looking good. Pace was looking good. The pit stop was on point. And I think that race, when we eventually would have come around to overtaking Lando, that would have given us the breakaway, the 1 second gap, and I could have dropped Max. But unfortunately, it's title over. So Max wins it. He's champion once again. Leclerc second, Norris third with the fastest lap, and then Perez P4 ahead of Sainz, Russell, Bottas, Stroll, Ricciardo, and Michael Schumacher. And then out of the points we have Gasly, Giovinazzi, Ocon, Lundgaard, Latifi, Matsushita, Eilert, Schwartzman, Mick Schumacher, Mazepin, and then Tsunoda and myself out of the race. Standings, you can see even getting second now is a bit of a stretch. Hang on. It's not technically over yet. I thought that's what Crofty meant with the celebration message. To be fair, there was no donuts, so hang on. It's not over yet. I mean, it's pretty much done, but if Max were to DNF in one of the, hopefully in the next race, ideally, we'd have a chance. Anyway, okay, we'll leave it there. Watch this space. Maybe there's a chance. The constructors, though, obviously that's long gone. We're still second, so we'll hold on to that. But we need to get some good points in the last two races. We're going to change the power unit for the last two, so we should be nice and strong. And yeah, it looks like it's not over yet. So Crofty has swerved us. I'm pretty sure the message, you know, was he's won the championship. Red Bull already won the constructors like 2 races ago, so it couldn't have been for that. But maybe the game's bugged out. Either way. Yeah, that is it. We'll be back for Jeddah, the next race. Luckily, that's a decent track for me, so I can't lie. We're going to need something to happen to Max that race, realistically, for it to go down to Abu Dhabi. So, yeah, that is it from me today. Leave a like if you enjoyed it. Nonetheless, short race, but hopefully still found it enjoyable. Subscribe for more daily F1 content. And, yeah, we'll be back soon for the final 2 races. But, yeah, just watching. As always, a massive thank you to the channel members for supporting the content. Finally, check out the 2 videos on screen if you haven't seen them. And that is it from me today, and I'll see all of you in the next one. Adios.